About how gas prices have been cut by nearly 18% to below $4 per MMBTU effective 1st of October. A company which will be negatively impacted because of this will be ONGC. A.K. Srinivasan, the Director Finance of the company, joins in now. Good afternoon, sir, and thanks so much for joining in. We understand that this gas represents 40% of the company's production and 23% of your turnover. What impact will this 18% cut in the gas prices have on the company's financials?
For this second half of my financial year, there is going to be a negative impact. My revenues are likely to be dropping down by 2,046 crores on our revenue generation level, and at the PBT level it should be about 1620 crores. And it will have an impact on my PAT to the extent of 1,059.
So 2046 on your revenues, that's the negative impact. Profit before tax 1620, and at the PAT
1059.
1059. Okay, so that's the in the second half of the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and so for going ahead, do you think, when exactly can we see some kind of improvement then moving ahead? If the second half is going to be so terrible, then what about FY17? Do you expect a further decline?
Because it depends on the pricing of the gas, how the markets, because the gas prices are determined based on the four markets. And it depends on the movement of the Henry Hub, the Canadian Alberta pricing, as well as the Russian market and the London balancing point. How the gas price moves, it all depends on that. It is very difficult to predict at this point of time what could be the movement.
Okay, and what about on your net realization, sir? What will be the impact? Any number?
My net realization will be at 4.24 as the price of NCV basis.
Okay, and how would this compare with, say, a year ago or earlier this year?
We are back to, before the revision of the price happened, I used to get $4.2. And it is at the same level what I am now with the realizations.
All right, Mr. Srinivasan, then talking about realizations, what about crude realizations? Could you help us with those numbers?
Crude oil, actually, rightly at this point of time, I don't have the calculations. But definitely the crude prices are at the suboptimal of 50 now. So definitely it is going to have a little bit of impact on my revenue side. But definitely, compared to my previous years, it is going to be better off because the subsidy adjustment, which used to be there, that
Mr. Srinivas?
it has come down.
Okay. We actually lost a connection. If you could just repeat.
No, I was just mentioning that the crude prices are at the sub 50 level. But what I was mentioning that the realizations on the crude, which used to be, due to the subsidy, it used to be in the range of 40, 41. Those have improved in our first quarter, and definitely we will look better compared to the previous years.
Okay. Another, concern because of the lower gas prices is that it disincentivizes exploration in, upstream oil and gas. Your comments on it, and do you expect it to suffer significantly because now it's, prices have been cut significantly?
No, actually, see, these are periodic processes and the business has to continue. We just can't stop our businesses. And definitely we'll do, but definitely we'll have little bit of constraints on internal generation of revenues. But definitely these prices we don't expect to remain at these levels. It has to have a moment, and we expect some positives to happen in this.
Right, Mr. Srinivasan, what about any of your global subsidiaries? Are they facing any kind of pressures because of the sharp decline that we have seen in crude prices?
No, on the crude prices, definitely the markets are sluggish, and definitely the revenue generation has an impact, and all my subsidies like OVL definitely has a tight situation, tight rope to walk in now.
Okay. What about production? The last we knew was, production had significantly declined even in the previous year. I was reading some article which, said for India, the production was at a 4-year low. For ONGC per se, what's the production target, and would it be lower in the second half of the year?
Like my production compared to the last year, it is definitely at the same level we are going to produce in the current year.
Okay. Any number?
See, immediately you have been put onto a conversation. I have not the papers right now. So I'm just across, I can't tell the numbers.
Okay. But it should be flat this year compared vis-a-vis last year.
Definitely it is better than what it was last year. We are going to slightly have more production.
All right, so appreciate you taking the time out and joining us first on CNBC TV 18. Most helpful. So that's ONGC telling us that because of the decline in the cut in the gas prices in the second half of the year for their financials, their revenues will be impacted by 2,046 crore. At the PBT or profit before tax level, it will be impacted at 1,620 crore, and the profit will be impacted by 1,059 crore. The stock has already reacted, so it's still down close to about 0.5%. You can see the decline which came through 2 hours ago.